The movie starts in 1997, where a team of secret agents goes into a castle in the Middle East to get some info. But during a mission, one of the agents, Lee Unwin, had to die because he saved his boss, Harry Hart, from a bomb. After that, Harry blamed himself a lot for Lee's death. When Harry came back to London, he visited Lee's wife, Michelle, and their young son, Eggsy, to express his sadness for Lee's death. Michelle, still very sad about her husband's death, said no to the medal Harry offered. So Harry gave it to Eggsy instead and told him to keep it safe and call a special number if he needed help. Before leaving, Harry told Eggsy to always take care of himself and his mom. 17 years later, a teacher named Arnold is captured by a group of bad guys in a cabin in the mountains. Soon after, someone knocked on the door. When one of the bad guys opened it, a well-dressed man was there, and he killed that bad guy. The man is Lancelot, a secret agent who was also in the mission in the Middle East, where Eggsy's dad died many years ago. Lancelot quickly defeated all the bad guys. Just as he was about to rescue Professor Arnold, a woman named Gazelle killed him. Gazelle works for Richmond Valentine, a rich guy who gives out free salam cards to everyone in the world. Valentine kidnapped Arnold. Since Lancelot failed to rescue him, Valentine convinced the professor to help him. Then the scene shifts to Harry entering a tailor shop called Kingsman, which is actually the base of Kingsman, a secret service made by rich British people who lost their kids in World War I and used their money to protect the world. Next, Harry goes into a room for a meeting with his boss, Arthur, and other important people from Kingsman. They talk about what happened to Lancelot during the mission to save Professor Arnold and decide they need a new agent to take Lancelot's place. After the meeting, Merlin, who helps with technical stuff for Kingsman, comes in to tell Harry and Arthur what they found out about Lancelot's death. Arthur then asks Harry to finish Lancelot's job and figure out what Professor Arnold is up to and who killed Lancelot. Then, the scene changes to show Eggsy, who's now a young man. He had to quit training for the Royal Marines, even though he's smart and talented. Eggsy lives with his mom, stepdad Dean, and baby sister. He and Dean don't get along, with Dean often being mean to Eggsy and his mom. But Eggsy really loves his baby sister and takes care of her a lot. One day at a bar, Eggsy and his friends argue with some troublemakers who work for Dean. Things almost get out of hand, but Eggsy tells his friends to leave before it gets worse. After leaving the bar, Eggsy told his friends he swiped the car keys from one of the tough guys. Without hesitation, they hopped into the car and teased its owner back for insulting them. But their joyride caught the attention of patrolling police. Eggsy tried to outrun them, but when cornered, he urged his friends to flee while he faced the cops alone. Eggsy got arrested on the spot and faced 18 months in jail. While in custody for car theft, Eggsy remembered the medal Harry gave him and decided to call the number on it. Soon after, Harry arranged his release and picked him up. At a bar, Harry revealed he's a Kingsman secret agent, just like Eggsy's dad, using the codename Galahad. When a henchman insulted Harry, a fight broke out. Harry easily defeated them, leaving Eggsy in awe of his skills. After Eggsy got home, Dean, aware of Eggsy's clash with his henchman, attacked him. Michelle tried to stop Dean from hurting Eggsy, but Dean threatened her with a knife. Luckily, Harry had placed a tracking device on Eggsy and communicated through it, warning Dean to release Eggsy or face police action. Confused, Dean let go of Eggsy, who hurried out after Harry instructed him to meet at a tailor shop called Kingsman. There, Eggsy reunited with Harry, who explained about recruiting new members to replace the deceased agent Lancelot. Harry and Eggsy then went to the Kingsman headquarters, where Eggsy and other candidates would undergo tests prepared by Merlin. Eggsy met Roxy, recommended by a Kingsman agent, and Charlie, a wealthy young man who often underestimated him. In the evening, the candidates faced their first test when Merlin flooded their sleeping room, forcing them to find an escape before running out of air. While others tried using a drain hose, Eggsy cleverly spotted a double-sided mirror and broke it to survive the test along with the others. After learning from Merlin that Professor Arnold resumed work as if nothing had happened post-kidnapping, Harry attempted to interrogate him at Imperial College London to uncover the culprit behind Lancelot's murder. However, during the interrogation, a microchip implanted in Arnold's neck exploded, killing him instantly. Shortly after, two assailants attacked Harry and triggered an explosion, causing chaos. Meanwhile, Valentine commenced his sinister plan, disguised as a global savior. He sought to persuade someone in the White House to endorse his scheme. Valentine deliberately implanted a microchip in Professor Arnold's neck, designed to detonate if Arnold felt threatened or scared. Harry received urgent medical attention at Kingsman headquarters. Meanwhile, Eggsy and other candidates faced another perilous training test, with candidates being eliminated one by one. As part of their training, they were tasked with caring for and training a puppy, who would eventually become their mission partner. In another place, Valentine convinces the King of Sweden to agree to his chip implant plans by assuring him of global safety. However, the Crown Princess, Tilde, firmly opposes the plan. Consequently, Valentine orders Gazelle to imprison her. Meanwhile, Harry, now recovered, prepares to resume his mission. Eggsy visits him, sharing his exam successes. Merlin informs Harry that he traced the explosion signal to Valentine's chip-producing company. Eggsy, Harry, and Merlin watch a video where Valentine promotes his company's latest SIM card, promising free calls and internet. With Merlin's help, Harry disguises himself as a wealthy philanthropist to meet Valentine. Valentine invites Harry to dinner at his home, but he becomes suspicious and spikes Harry's wine with nano-tracking gel to monitor his movements. Harry promptly briefed Arthur on his investigation at Valentine's residence. He discovered Valentine's ties to an obscure hate group's church in Kentucky. Meanwhile, there was a surge in disappearances of state officials and influential figures, coinciding with the popularity of Valentine's latest SIM card worldwide. While Eggsy and other candidates faced a perilous test, skydiving from a plane, only Eggsy, Roxy, and Charlie passed to the next stage. The remaining candidates underwent a loyalty test, tied to train tracks and interrogated about Kingsman. Eggsy and Roxy proved loyal, while Charlie prioritized self-preservation. Eggsy was called by Arthur, while Roxy met with Merlin. They faced the final exam, where Eggsy struggled morally, refusing to shoot the puppy he had raised during training. As a result, he failed, and Roxy, showing her loyalty, was chosen as the new Kingsman member, adopting the name Lancelot. After failing the Kingsman test, Eggsy returns home with his dog, happy to see his mother. However, he gets upset seeing bruises on her face from Dean. Ready to confront Dean, Harry interrupts and explains the final exam. The gun was unloaded, meant to test loyalty. Harry then receives a call from Merlin about Valentine's plan to test the SIM card in a church in Kentucky. Rushing there, Harry wears glasses with a video device. Valentine activates the SIM card, making the congregation and Harry violently aggressive. Harry, with his spy skills, survives but realizes the card's radiation exposure. He escapes the church, leaving many dead. Outside, Valentine reveals his plan before shooting Harry. Eggsy and Merlin witness via Harry's glasses, shocked by his death. Eggsy rushes to Kingsman headquarters to meet Arthur upon hearing the news. Eggsy quickly noticed a scar on Arthur's neck, similar to Professor Arnold's. Arthur disclosed Valentine's plan to transmit neurological waves globally through satellites. Valentine convinced Arthur that wiping out most of humanity now would prevent future extinction due to global warming. Arthur claimed only Valentine's chosen ones would be safe. Arthur then attempted to poison Eggsy, but Eggsy switched their glasses, causing Arthur to poison himself instead. Afterward, Eggsy removed the chip from Arthur's neck and gave it to Merlin. Together, Eggsy, Merlin, and Roxy hurried to come up with a plan to stop Valentine. Roxy's task was to destroy one of Valentine's satellites using high-altitude balloons, while Merlin and Eggsy investigated the chip from Arthur's neck. Merlin discovered a chip that could counteract radiation from the mass-produced SIM cards, protecting them. However, it was risky because Valentine could detonate at any time. Merlin then flew Eggsy to Valentine's base, where Eggsy would disguise himself as Arthur to attend Valentine's invitation. Eggsy outwits the guards at Valentine's headquarters and makes it to the party. However, his disguise is short-lived as Charlie recognizes him. With Valentine's invite, Eggsy and Merlin find themselves in a tight spot. Meanwhile, Roxy destroys one of Valentine's satellites, but he has a backup that takes time to activate. Feeling trapped, Eggsy suggests activating the failsafe in the implanted chips, killing most of those with chips. After Roxy lands safely, she asks Michelle to lock her daughter in the bathroom as per Eggsy's instructions. As Valentine activates the signal, chaos erupts worldwide, with everyone turning violent, including Michelle trying to harm her daughter. Eggsy faces Gazelle in a fierce battle, ultimately killing her. He then uses one of her sharp prosthetic limbs to fatally stab Valentine. Valentine's death stops the signal, ending the worldwide chaos. Later, Eggsy spends time with Tilde, the crown princess of Sweden who Valentine kidnapped. Then, as Galahad, Eggsy goes to the bar with his mother and Dean. He suggests they leave Dean's abuse behind and move elsewhere. Dean gets furious and tries to attack Eggsy, but Eggsy swiftly knocks him out and faces his henchmen alone. So the moral of the story is, if you ever find yourself in a secret agent's shoes, make sure your spy gadgets are waterproof.